Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the week of October 3rd. Now do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go and see what we have here for you, Virgo. Now I'm using the Tarot Muka, the Ethereal Visions Muka, the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you, Virgo. Make sure we're all set up here and in view. And then we'll get right into it. All right. Go ahead and put this right here, and then we'll take a couple of these oracle cards for you. All right. Energy on the bottom. You have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is all about, this can say that maybe some of you here are taking like a thoughtful approach to something in your life. Specifically, like you're engaging in thoughtful communication with somebody. This is the Mercury retrograde card, but we're pretty much, we're looking at this week that ends, we're looking at this week where Mercury goes direct. And so thankfully we're out of that period. We do have like 6 planets in retrograde right now. It's pretty wild time energetically. I don't know if anybody else can feel that, but yeah, this Page of Swords person, this can talk about, the reason I say it's the Mercury retrograde card is because it can bring about delays or news of delay, situations involving time, anything like that. But it can also just say that you are taking a thoughtful approach to something, or you have thoughtful consideration for something in your life. And, you know, there might be something here that you're spending a lot of time on, okay? I say that because you have this 7 of Cups energy here in the overall situation. So let's just dive into this. So in the overall, you have this 7 of Cups card. This card is important because it informs the rest of the reading. And the 7 of Cups says that maybe you are spreading yourself too thin. This can say that you have a ton of options in front of you here, and that you are trying to make the right choice, or you're trying to pick the right option in your life. Something like that going on when you get the 7 of Cups. This can say that you're a little bit confused because of the amount of options that you have, or you're a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of options that you have. I think that some of you are really overthinking something, to be totally real with you, Virgo. I think some of you are really overthinking something here. And, this could be connected to, for some of you, this actually might be a love interest, because we have this Knight of Cups here with your card in the past. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. For some of you, this could be a love interest that you really care deeply about, or that you're infatuated with. For others of you, this might be involving a workplace situation, probably something connected to a colleague or a project that you're doing or that you're involved in. And I think that you're overthinking this situation because you care about it, and you care about doing a good job, or you care about this person. You're overthinking the situation because fundamentally you do care. Now, in the past, you have the Hermit, you have the Knight of Cups, and you also have the 3 of Pentacles here showing up. So your energy here is the first card, okay? So the corners in this reading are also significant. There are a couple things. I mean, this is just such a cool spread. It's called the 9-card Lenormand spread. It's my favorite spread. I've been using it for a while. But the corners really help lay out the context of this spread. And what I'll say here with this Hermit card in this upper left corner, this is your energy. This is the Virgo card, okay? And so you here... Okay, here's the thing that's coming into my mind. This upper row is the row of your thoughts. And to see you show up in the thoughts row, to me, suggests you have an abundance of thoughts at this time. Okay, there's a lot going on in your mind at this time, or this is in the past really, but this has been going on for you for some time now. You've had a lot of thoughts about either a love situation here with the Knight of Cups or a work situation here with the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so if we break this down, so just looking at the love storyline, the Knight of Cups, this is somebody that you're kind of infatuated with, or this is somebody that you feel like is kind of like a knight in shining armor, or somebody who you really can envision yourself being with. By the way, I don't attach gender to my cards, so you can take on any of these cards. We have like a queen, a page, a knight. Just keep that in mind. But this is somebody that so if it's not a quality of a person, the Knight of Cups can indicate some sort of romantic event happening in your life, like the start of a relationship. I think some of you are really thinking about that, like, okay, will this ever happen? Is it meant to be? All of that sort of stuff. You might have met this person through a group of people, because the 3 in tarot can refer to groups. Now, in a workplace context, so in the work storyline that I see here, the Three of Pentacles can connect to your colleagues, okay, the people that you work with. It can also connect to a project, because you can see this person is building. They have a mallet in their hand, they're building the statue. And, it is possible that for some of you here, but also along with that, for some of you here, this is connected to a project. Along with that, the Knight of Cups in a workplace situation represents potentially you acquiring a vision, or like putting your creative stamp on something. And so either way, there are two very clear storylines that are coming in here. And the whole kind of crux of this issue is that you are really thinking heavily about whatever this is at this time. So in the current situation, you have the Five of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups, and you also have the Two of Pentacles here. So Seven of Cups, I've talked about this at length, about how you see all the roads ahead, you see all the choices in front of you. You can only have one. At least that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm not telling you you can only have one, but it feels like you can only pick one cup. And so you're really focusing in, and I think there's a little bit of overwhelming feeling here as well. The Seven of Cups asks you to be careful of speculating in your life. And so, like, obviously in a financial reading, this would be like, be careful about speculating on a specific stock, or speculating on a specific cryptocurrency, or placing a bet on a gamble, or something like that. Obviously not financial advice, but that's the idea when you look at the Seven of Cups. Now this can also, you can blow that open as well and say, like, be careful of speculating on areas of your life, such as, like, are you creating stories in your mind? Like, when we overthink, we create stories. That is the truth. Classic overthinkers do that, and I know that. I know that feeling very well personally. And so, for some of you, you may want to ask yourself, like, am I creating a story here in my mind? What is fact, what is fiction, type of deal. You have this Five of Cups in the upper row. So some of you are maybe forecasting disappointment in your mind, or you're creating a story of disappointment in your mind. Five Cups, major energy of disappointment. It really asks you to look on the bright side and recognize that there are many things in life to look forward to, and to always keep that in mind. So, if we're going back to this idea here of speculation, if the cup that you choose is the wrong cup, recognize that there will be more cups available in your life. What's even more of a confirmation here is that you have this Two of Pentacles, okay? Two of Pentacles is you weighing options, okay? You can see that this person's weighing the Two Pentacles in their hands. They're weighing options, weighing decisions, weighing choices, and they're kind of going back and forth on something. It also represents change in one's life. Typically change connected to finances. By default, it's a good change, but it can just represent change generally. You have this here there's something in the lower row that is building for you. The lower row is what you can't see. It's the subconscious, it's the hidden, it's your dream realm. And for some of you, I think that you're going to be successful here. You just can't see it right now. the success isn't really showing up clearly for you right now, but there is definitely this narrative of success here showing up. So do keep that in mind. In the future, you have the Queen of Swords, you have the Five of Wands, and you also have the Chariot card here. So the Chariot is a major energy of victory and success. It says through self-discipline, you can achieve great things and you can have many successes in your life. This is also the idea of as above, so below, right? And so this idea of like the actions that you take really are changing your relationship with the universe. You know, what you do here on Earth affects what is going on for you personally in the universe, right? For your soul, for your imprint in the universe, whatever you want to call it. And so have self-discipline, take the right actions, recognize that every action you take is important. It creates karma for you. And, you know, I think for some of you here, what's going to end up happening is you're just going to choose the cup, right? Instead of overthinking, you're going to choose the cup. You're going to pick the option, you're going to take the choice, and you're going to sort of metaphorically here place your bet and say, all right, this is what I need to do, this is what I'm doing. It may fail, but it might also not fail. And I don't say that in a gambling sense. I say that in like, the example that's coming to mind is like, I'm going to tell this person how I feel, you know? I like this person, I'm going to tell this person how I feel. That's the bet I'm placing. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm going to hand this project in the way it is. I'm not going to, the other examples, I'm going to hand the project in the way it is now. I'm not going to spend time perfecting and nitpicking, and I'm just going to roll the dice and say, this is what I can do right now, and whatever happens, happens. So I think some of you are going to do that. Five of Wands, there's clearly a conflict for you internally about what choice to take here or what to do, sort of what bet to place, metaphorically speaking. And then also you have this Queen of Swords, which is about you focusing. And I think that this is, but it's not just about focus. The Queen of Swords is somebody who really cuts to the chase, and they cut the outside noise. Anything that's not getting them closer to their goal, they will cut out. So I think, again, some of you are taking decisive action on something. Let's take a look at the Oracle cards here. All right, so you have Shaolin Master, be graceful in action, or sorry, be graceful in movement and action, Shaolin Master. You have Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within, and you also have Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. So yeah, I think that this, while I love this Magic Guardian card usually, I think for you the two major messages here are this Warrior energy, be fearless and stand strong, as well as the Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action, because we've been talking about you picking this choice the entire reading, and I think it feels like this choice is weighing on you pretty heavily here. And so, you know, I think some of you are taking decisive action, like I said, here, and really going for it. So let's go ahead and let's start to clarify this situation even more. I do really appreciate you being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please do hit the like and subscribe buttons, as it really does help my channel grow. So you have the Four of Swords, you have the Strength card, and you also have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so the Four of Swords is all about rest, recovery, rejuvenation, healing from a situation, taking time to reflect, and that is clarifying the Hermit card, which is your card. That's the Virgo card. So I think for some of you here, you're taking a step back, you're taking a moment, you're reassessing, you're reevaluating, you're deciding, and you're deciding where to go with this choice here. You're deciding what choice to make here with this Seven of Cups. And I would say try not to put so much pressure on yourself. You have the Strength card and the Wheel of Fortune. Strength card is all about overcoming obstacles. Both the Chariot and the Strength card represent overcoming obstacles. The difference is the Strength card represents overcoming internal obstacles. The Wheel of Fortune says that your destiny here is coming, and there's change that it is being clarified in the past. So I do think that there's been change that has sort of been happening for you. That's been kind of going on for you here for a while, but this change is certainly carrying over here into the future, and it's probably connected to your destiny in some ways. You have the Five of Swords, you have the Nine of Wands, and you also have the Page of Pentacles. So the Five of Swords this is some sort of loss or defeat. The thing about the Five Swords is it's totally recoverable. It gives you an opportunity to assess where you need to go. Okay, Five Swords is not like you're not out of the game when you get the Five Swords. Getting knocked down is part of life. Okay, it's not going to happen all the time, but the question is, or the point is with the Five Swords, will you get back up? Will you get back up? And the Strength card, that is energy of getting back up. And so is the Chariot. And so for some of you, you might be knocked down here, but you're definitely not out of the game. Nine of Wands is courage. And same with the Strength card. Nine of Wands is all about perseverance and moving ahead and moving along. Page of Pentacles, prospects. Okay, so there's definitely some sort of, like I said, there's something percolating here in the lower row that looks good for you. You have the Eight of Cups. You have your card, the Hermit again. And you have the Five of Pentacles here. So what was that card? Five of, yeah. Okay, so you're very clearly internally conflicted here about this option. The Five of Pentacles to me is suggesting, yeah, that you feel very like you don't want to make the wrong choice, but just recognize that this is something that's like, I think that this is an internal situation where you may just need to separate fact from fiction here and recognize that you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. Eight of Cups, you are walking away, and this is probably connected to somebody in your life. You have the Eight of Swords here. Yeah, you're probably walking away from this feeling of being overburdened by your thoughts, the many thoughts that you have, and by feeling trapped or constrained or conflicted in a situation. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next reading.